I feel like as soon as you tell someone that you're going to the gym, the person instantly assumes that this is a good thing. But going to the gym can 100% be a bad thing as well. And I mean, we're not even talking about the people that abuse PEDs and ruin their life that way. It's also like if you have a obsessive personality, like going to the gym can become an addiction. So for an example, for me, it is borderline of an addiction. So like I can control it and I can force myself not to do stuff, but still I don't train in a very healthy way. First of all, I do it much more than I should. The frequency is like much more intense than it should be. And on top of that, it's just like I don't really do anything else. So that also kind of like bleeds into my social life and bleeds into the other things that I should be doing, because like the only thing I realistically want to do is go to the gym. So it's not always going to be this like nice, positive, health, fitness driven experience. It can be if you're a normal human being, but then it can also become a fairly dark thing and it can become a fairly bad thing as well. So I feel like I'm right on the border of it, still kind of being a good thing and it's still kind of enhancing my life, but it can quite quickly also become a bad thing. And there's this always like struggle for me when it comes to like balancing it in a way where it still makes sense and balancing it in a way where I don't really do anything stupid. So, like for example, today I just had a leg day and my legs are absolutely trashed, and I still want to go out and jog during the day. Like I still want to go out and jog during the evening, and I'm not going to because right now this is definitely not the day where I should be doing this. There are days where it's kind of maybe not ideal, but you can do it. But like this is just like one of the days where like you 100% should not be outside jogging because you need to rest, you need to recover, and you need to get ready for the next week because it is Saturday. Tomorrow I still have a full rest day, but I need to like actually use this time to recover because from next week I'm once again going to be going like 6 days a week. And on top of that, the diet is becoming a little bit intense. So like normally, I would be able to get away with training quite a lot because I still eat like decent amounts of food. But now the diet is going to be going into like stranger danger territory. So now it is going to become significantly more sketchy, and I'm going to become significantly more touchable if somebody would ever want to attempt that because I'm just not going to have a lot of energy and I'm going to be, let's say, well, very fragile in a sense because I need to like be careful. I need to like lower the weights. I need to like properly think about what is it that I'm doing at the gym. Nowadays, I really need to think about my form when I'm lifting weights because it is easier to get injured when you're on caloric deficit rather than when you're bulking. So when I'm bulking or when I'm eating like a decent amount of food in general, I would go quite heavy with the weights and I would try to push the weights and I would try to like lift as much as I can. Now I'm still kind of challenging myself, but I'm not really trying to lift heavy. The thing that I would mostly focus on is like correct form, a lot of repetitions, and like medium to lower weights. So that is kind of like the thing that works for me best when it comes to cutting, because like you don't want to fuck up the cut, you don't want to traumatize yourself, because if you're going to traumatize yourself, it's going to become significantly more difficult to diet. And yeah, then on top of it, it's just like you're weak, you're depleted, like you don't have the strength to like lift actual proper weights. So yeah, like this can 100% be a bad thing and this can 100% be an addiction. It's just like kind of up to you to decide what kind of a person you are and what is it that you want to do with this, because fitness can be a wonderful thing that is going to enhance your life. It's going to make you look better, it's going to make you feel better, and it's going to be good across the board. But then if you're going to become a little bit weird with it and if you're going to start overdoing it, it is going to become a very bad thing and it is going to become a very depressive thing. I remember when I was younger, when I was still living back home, I went to this local gym, and there was this guy that was like training every single fucking day, and he was lifting very heavy, and like he would like train to the point where it looks like he's going to pass out, and he would spend like 5 6 hours at the gym just like training, going to the sauna, going back to training, going back to the sauna, and like that is not okay. Like you're not doing this in a smart way, because first of all, you're not really going to improve, because I mean he was a strong guy but he had a very average physique considering how much time is he spending at the gym. So like first of all, you're not really going to progress if you're going to do these kind of things, and secondly, you're just like you're fucking yourself up. Like you're going to have a lower lifespan eventually if you're going to do it to that kind of an extent. So yeah, if you guys want to train, it is a wonderful thing. Just be careful and be thoughtful with the things that you do. Don't overdo it, which is mostly not going to be a problem for like 99% of people. But if you are within this 1% that is like quite obsessive with the things that they do, be careful and do take a rest day from time to time. Okay, it's time for me to go and buy the groceries, so I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Has any one of you ever sharted in your pants while lifting weights at a public gym? And for the ones of you that don't know what sharted means, it's basically when you try to fart, but then you get a unexpected little gift that you were not planning to have. And I have never done this, so like this has never happened to me, and I'm like purely playing with a hypothetical scenario. But like if that would happen, like what would be the best course of action afterwards? From one side, logically, you should just go home, change, shower. But what do you do afterwards? Do you go back to the gym? Do you not finish your workout? So that is going to take a lot of time. So you could also just stay at the gym and keep on lifting weights. Just have a little bit of grit to your personality and just like suffer through it. Just like finish your workout, then you go home, you shower, you change your clothes, and you're fine. So like if you go by this logic, at least some people that are training should have this happen to them at some point, right? Because also considering the diet and considering the things that you consume when you lift weights, which is like a very protein heavy diet, which is like a lot of protein shakes, at some point something like that could happen. So theoretically, if you have been lifting weights for a while, there is a likelihood that you have seen at least one person at the gym that is actively lifting weights while he has shit in his pants, basically. So like, that is a very weird, very non-sanitary environment to be in, I feel like. But it's like, what do you do? Like, do you go home? Probably should go home. I mean, realistically, you should definitely 100% go home. Like, if you were considering staying at the gym, if something like that would happen to you, like, you're a fucking disgusting pig. Like, no, you should, like, absolutely fucking go home. But yeah, I mean, like, you have probably seen at least one person in this kind of a predicament if you've been lifting weights for, let's say, well, above 5 years, which is actually something I never thought about until today, and I have no idea why did I even think about it today. But just once again, to like make this perfectly clear for everyone, I have never done this, and this is not me speaking out of like personal experience. This is just like a little mind exercise that I just came up with. But yeah, like what do you do? Like what would you be doing in this kind of situation? One thing that I've discovered over time that helps significantly when it comes to training and when it comes to being efficient is going to a gym that has proper, good, high-end equipment. Because when I started working out in the US, well, first of all, I went to this hotel gym, which wasn't great, but that gym was okay-ish. But the gym after that I started training in was called Retro Fitness. And it's like this relatively big North American gym chain. And it wasn't bad, like it had all the equipment you might need, but the problem with that is the equipment is still a little bit dingy, and that kind of complicates stuff in a sense where like you really need to think about proper form, and you really need to think about doing everything in like a good structured way, because otherwise if you're going to just like try to like swing huge weights, you are probably going to hurt yourself because the equipment is a little bit wobbly and dingy. And you can't really focus that much on like efficiency and like actually lifting proper heavy weights because all the movements feel stiff and like you always feel pain somewhere and the movement never really feels super smooth. But like you can still 100% train in these kind of gyms and like they're fine and decent gyms. But the thing that I changed recently is I started going to like a high-end facility with like actual proper like good gym equipment, and that completely changed everything. All of a sudden like all the moves feel smooth, and you still need to like train hard and you still need to think about your form, but like you can give a little bit in and you can like try to give a little bit more attention to like actually lifting heavy weights because the equipment is just going to be like good, high quality equipment, which does make it a little bit easier and it does make it a little bit less likely for you to hurt yourself. And I'm really enjoying the experience with the like high-end equipment, and even like when it comes to just like the visual aspect of it and like how I look visually when I'm training at this gym. Like I've been there for like a few months now and I feel like there is a difference when it comes to like my progress because I'm just able to do more and I'm able to be more efficient, so that does help a lot. And also another thing with this is like, okay, maybe the upgrade from like Retro Fitness to this gym, it's significant, but it's not going to be the most significant thing. It's still going to be quite dependent on you actually putting in the work, you actually properly dieting, and you actually lifting like heavy weights with proper form. But if you're training in like a fucking apartment complex gym, or if you're training in a hotel gym, or if you're just training in like a small really dingy, really non kind of like commercial gym, then that is actually going to like change a lot. So like moving from like a small apartment gym to like an actual proper facility, well, that is going to be a big game changer. So like going from like a decent gym to like a very good gym isn't really make all that much of a difference. And like if you can, yeah, go for it, and that's perfect. But if you can't, it's fine. But going from like an apartment gym to like a actual proper gym, well, that is something I would suggest everyone doing if you're looking to like train properly, and if you are actually passionate about like improving yourself and like improving your physique, then yeah, that is a no-brainer, and that is going to be like the best investment you can ever make. So yeah, that is my experience with going to like actual good proper facilities. And oh boy, I am feeling myself today. I am feeling myself being quite depleted today. And on top of it, like I always know that I'm fucking up when when I start having these like random thoughts about like just like buying McDonald's and just like having a random binge. So that is where the diet gets tricky. And I am currently at this point. So like I have these like intrusive thoughts of just like, oh, I can do a cheat day. I can just like DoorDash McDonald's and just like binge out and eat. And this is where it counts. And this is where you shouldn't really give in. And this is where you should control yourself. So my mentality when it comes to managing these kind of things is like, if you really want to have the cheat day, and if I'm still going to want to have the cheat day in like 2 days, then I'm going to do it. But my main rule is like these things have to be planned, and they cannot be spontaneous. Like you can't just randomly decide that, oh, I'm going to eat shit now, and afterwards just kind of like go back to your diet, because that is going to become a habit, and that is going to become something that you're going to start doing more and more frequently, and that is just generally something that is like much more difficult to control. So yeah, I'm never going to give in to these like random thoughts of just like binging out and like getting McDonald's, but I still feel like the cheat day is probably approaching. It's been a little bit more than a week now since the last cheat meal that I had, and the last cheat meal that I had was still a relatively healthy one, so like it wasn't like a big binge. I remember I was eating mashed potatoes with salmon the last time I did this. So the next cheat day that I'm going to have is most probably going to be like a proper one, where I'm going to get like McDonald's, even though I know I'm going to feel like shit afterwards. I'm going to eat some sweets as well. So like that's probably the next thing that I'm going to be doing. But I still feel like I probably need to like suffer for a few more days, lose a little bit more weight, and then I can properly binge out. And then we will be already approaching the final stages of my diet, where it's going to get like really bleak and it is going to get really sad. But well, it needs to be done, so this is the thing that we are going to be doing. Anyways, my day is slowly coming to its end. Probably just going to be sitting here on the sofa fucking starving my ass off. So yeah, I guess that is pretty much it for the day. I'm gonna watch a little bit of TV, and then we'll already probably try to sleep. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow.